Hello, welcome to Mathis Digital. My name is Aaron, and today I'm going to show you some of the techniques which we can use in formatting data in InfoBasic. I have here a sample of data set. It is a CSV file which is comma separated, so we should be able to come from this format to this one. This is very easy to visualize as opposed to this. For instance, the amount, if you look at, I want to be able to know that this is 1 million just looking at this number. But with this one, I can easily visualize the digits. So that's 1,209,000. So it's very easy to visualize the data. So I'm going to show you some of the techniques which you can use to format data in this way, if you have a data set like this. So this will show you how you can extend, for instance, the ID for here. This is 1 digit, this is 2 digits, these are 3 digits, but normally you should display them in a way that it has the same length. This will allow you to sort the data easily. This is the date. So this T24 date, it is okay for T24, but for the user, this is better. Now this is also account number, but if it's formatted in this way, it is very easy to visualize because you know this is the currency, this is the category, this is, for instance, branch code, sequence number, and so on. So it is very easy to visualize all the parts which make an account. Same applies for customer's account, whereby this is a branch code, then we have customer code, which is 6 digits, and we have, I think, check digits and maybe product type, product code. So it is very easy to visualize data in this way. Now, this is the same data set. It is a CSV file. Let me show you how to do that, okay? Good. So we need to find a way to read this data from this Excel. So let me create a simple program. So I'm going to select program. I can name it test prog because it's just a testing program. Okay, I'm going to delete this. Now I have a utility subroutine which will help me to read data, because the purpose of this training is not about reading data, it's about formatting the data. So it is located in this package EB MTD training. EB MTD training, and it is called read file. So it's going to be empty. The file we want to read is transaction.csv, and this will return content of this file. We can name this transaction, and also an error if we are not able to read this file. And then let's print this data to make sure that we are getting the correct data before we proceed. Okay, now let me run this program. All right, so we can see all the data. Now let's count how many records do we have. So you can say num record or number of transaction, for instance, is going to be the count this transaction. We use FM. Now we can loop through this data and print each line instead of printing everything on one line. So let's do that. Use for loop. Let's say for index equals to 1 to this num transaction, we are going to print transaction at that position, that index. Okay, next index. So this is very simple. What it will do, we are going to loop through the data which we will get, and we're going to print each line at a time inside this loop. So let's see. All right. I think now it's okay. We are okay. We are getting our data. The next step we need to do to apply the formatting. We don't need this title. So we can start from 2 to exclude this title. Now if we run, we only get data. Okay? Similar to what we have in here. Now we're ready. We need to move from here to here. How are we going to do that? We're going to use different techniques. Okay, first of all, let's save this in a variable which we can use. So each transaction, we can save it in different... Actually, let's rename this. I think we can rename this to data. Right? Yeah, I think this is a better, this reflects better. Maybe number of records. Okay. Let's check. Okay, we're still getting the same data. Good. Now, each record is a transaction on its own. So we can do the record equals, now let's change this comma into FM for us to be able to, and this is going to ease the way to work with this data. So we can use this function change, and we're going to replace all the comma with FM. If we do this, this is going to be easy for us to read each record, extract each individual column. Let's see how we can get all individual data, first of all, in different variables, okay? We can print this data in this way. So let's create another variable, be transaction record or transaction, which is going to be each individual. So we start with the first one, which is the date. Okay. So we say it's a record at EB training, EBMTD training. Then I created some indexes for this table. So we can start with the SN. Then we can add some space and a column. So I'm talking about this pipe. Then let's concatenate this. Let's repeat this multiple times. Should be actually how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The second one is the date. The third one is debit account. The third one is going to be the credit account. The fourth one is going to be the amount. That's number 6. Let's see. We have a date. We have SN, date, debit, credit. Oh, we forgot currency, by the way. So the next one after credit account, we have currency. So this is going to be currency. All right. Now we need to concatenate this, so which means we need to do it this way. Let's try to print this data, which we get. So we do CRT, transaction record, and let's see how it looks like now. All right. Now it's okay, except that we need to get rid of this last pipe. Let's try again. Good. I think we are close to this. We are close to this. We have already each field individually, and we have a pipe in between. So we can start formatting each field. So we start with the first one, which is SN. We need to have them the same length, which means we're going to complement this first one with 2 zeros because it's 1, so we should add 2 zeros like this. Where we have 2 digits, we're going to add 1 0, and where we have the 3 digits, we're not going to do anything. Okay, now let's do that. For that, we can use the function FMT. So if you do FMT, it expects the string you want to format and the format which you want to apply. So the length should be 3, and we have leading zeros. Okay, this is how we do that. So you align right. We want to have size as 3, and you're going to have leading zeros. Okay, let's run it and confirm. Okay. All right. Now we can see the first result. We managed to push to have the same size for the first column, and as you can see, everything now is aligned properly, but we still have some tasks to do, like the amount and so on. So we can move to date, or let's talk about date later. Let's use the same technique to format amount and the rest of technique. Okay, for the date, I want us to use another function, not FMT. So let's start with amount. FMT. Now, how do you want to format the amount? Again, the amount also should be aligned right. Okay, and we need to have comma as a separator for digits, and after decimal we need to have only, after dot we need to have only 2 decimals. Okay, here we have 3, and here we have none, here we have 2, but they should have in the same format, which means 2 digits after dot. So let's do that. So again, we align right. In this case, we need to define the size for this I think 14 will be okay. Let's see. 13 or 12, maybe 12. Let's see. This is the one which is formatted. The longest one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think 12 will work, okay? But of course, if you're planning to have a bigger size, then it should be more than 12, okay? Let's say, for instance, we have 14. Let's say it's 14. And we want to have a comma as a separator and the 2 digits after comma, also after dot, okay? So here we're saying we are right, and we're going to have 14 as the length, okay? And we're going to have comma as a separator for thousands, and we're going to have 2 digits after dot. So let's see. All right. So now, because we said 14, you see here we have, but if you want to have exactly the same format, then we can use 12 because our amount, the maximum is 12, okay? If you want exactly the same format as here, so we should reduce this to 12, for instance, okay? Now, we can use the same technique to format the rest of the data, debit account number and the credit account number. Now you understand. So the FMT, again, we're going to align right. Now, in this case, we're going to say the first 3 digits, so the first 3 characters, then followed by hyphen. Then we're going to have next 5 characters, and we're going to have, which means 2, then we have a 5, which is category, then 4 characters, and at the end also we have 4 characters, okay? This is how we're going to format the account. Actually, we can apply the same format to the credit account number, okay? But here we're going to make a slight change. Here we want to have 3 digits, which is a branch code. Then it will be followed by 6 digits, which means you're going to have 6, and followed by 3. Okay, let's see. Now let's run. All right. So we have now almost done. We're almost done. We have already formatted the amount, the accounts, and the serial number. Now the next is the date. Now the date should be formatted in this way: day, then month, and year. But here we need to have 3 characters identifying the month. So how are we going to do that? First of all, we need to convert this date with this T24 date into internal date. So for that, we can use ICONV, and we can say this is a date. Okay. If you are curious, you want to see how it looks like, let me show you. After formatting that into internal date, this is how it looks like, okay? Now, this internal date, we are going to convert this internal date into this user-friendly date using now OCONV. So we do OCONV, which means external format, and it's going to be D as well. So it's double conversion. We're done. Now let's run our program in the sim. All right. Now with very few steps, you know how to format data, how to format dates, how to format numbers, strings, and so on. Congratulations. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Share and like this video. See you next. Bye bye.